Okay, this is module set. In this one here, we were rounding decimals to specific place values. Now, what I showed them in the classroom today was take this number. Like this one here is 225 and 286. I like writing it. Now I'm going to have to put the 2 here, 2, 5, and 286 thousandths. Now the first one, it says round to the nearest hundredths. So we're going to use a vertical number line. So the hundredths is here. So if I identify this, this is actually 22,528 thousandths. Okay. So I could write it in decimal form down here, 225 and 28 hundredths. Now we're looking, since we're going to the nearest hundredths, we want one more hundredths. So that would make it 225 and 29 hundredths. Now right in the center is going to be right between 28 hundredths and 29 hundredths. And right in the center is going to be 225 and 28, just like down below, and our 5 thousandths. And you could tell that because if I came here and put a 0 on both of them, I'd have 280 thousandths, 285 thousandths, 290 thousandths. But I want to leave the zeros off because we're rounding to the nearest hundredths. Now I'm going to take our number, our original number, which is 225, 286 thousandths, and that would be roughly right here. So I know anything on the line or above would round up. So we would round to 225 and 29 hundredths. Now the next one says ones. If I come back over here, I can see that I actually have 225 ones. Now one more one would be 226 ones. And then in the center, I would end up with 225 and 5 tenths. Now I'm going to take my original number, 225 and 286 thousandths. 286 thousandths is going to be roughly right about here somewhere. So since it's below halfway point, we would round to 225. Our last one says tens. If I look at tens, okay, and I like reading it unit form because some students have a hard time with this. If I said I had 22 tens, that would be the same thing as saying I have 220. Okay. Now one more 10 would be 23 tens. So 23 tens would be 230. And since I have 220 on the bottom, 230 on top, the center would end up being 225. Now if I take my number 225 and 2 tenths, I can see that I'm going to be basically roughly right about there. But anything on the line or up would cause me to round to the top number line. Okay, on question 3, we have 8 and 984 thousandths. So I'm going to put 8, 984 thousandths. Now the first one says a hundredths. So if I look at hundredths, I could say I have 8 and 98 hundredths. So I'm going to put down here 8 and 98 hundredths because it says hundredths. One more hundredths would be 8 and 99 hundredths. Now right in between the two, I would end up with 8 and 985 thousandths. Because like I said before, if I put a 0 here and a 0 here, you can see 980, 985, 990. Well, we're rounding to the hundredths, so I don't want to put that thousandth 0 in there. Now we're going to take our original number, which is 8 and 984 thousandths. So I'm trying to figure out, is it going to go above or below the center line? Well, 984 thousandths is going to go below. So that means we're going to round down to 8 and 98 hundredths. Now, if we come back up and we look at it, this time tenths. As you can see in the tenths block right here, I would 89 tenths. So it'd be 8 and 9 tenths. That means one more would be 10 tenths, which would carry over to the 1, so I actually have 9. Now in the center, I'm going to have 8 and 9 and 5 hundredths. Now we come up to our original number. We have 89 and 8 hundredths. Here we have 89 and 8 and 95 hundredths. This is 8 and 98 hundredths. So we know it would be right about here, so we'd round to 9. C says ones. So I can see here I have 8 ones. One more ones would be 9 ones. And in the middle is going to be 8 and 5 tenths. Now this is 8 and 9 tenths. So if I put 8 and 9 tenths here, I can see we're going to round to 9. The last one, tens. Well, as you can see, we actually do not have anything in there, but that means there's 0 tens there. So I'm going to put 0 tens. Now one more 10 would be 10. And obviously right in the center would be 5. Now if I look at my ones, I have 8 ones. There's 5, 1, 6, 7. So we know 8 ones would be right about here. We're above the halfway mark, so we would round to. Number 4. On a Major League Baseball diamond, the distance from the pitcher's mound to home plate is 18 and 386 thousandths meters. Round this number to the nearest hundredth of a meter. Okay, it says use a number line. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to draw my number line. It's kind of crooked, but it'll do. Now I know I've got top, bottom, and the center. Now it says I'm rounding to the hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and write this 18,386. Now I know my hundredths position is here. So I'm rounding to the hundredths. So I know on the bottom number it's going to be 18 and 38 hundredths. One more would be 18 and 39 hundredths. That means in the center I'd have 18 and 38 five thousandths. Now this is 18 and 386 thousandths. This is 18 and 385 thousandths. So we know it would be right here. So we would round to 18 and 39 hundredths. How many centimeters is it from pitcher's mound to home plate? Oh, this is going back to one of our previous lessons where we're converting from meters to centimeters. Now, if you remember our saying, King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Now, this is millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. Now, we're at meters, and we're going to, that should be an M, centimeters. We're going to centimeters. The arrow tells us the direction to move our place value. And we can see we're moving 1, 2 place values. So if I had 18 and 386 meters, when I move my decimal point to the right 2 positions, 1, 2, that would equal 1,838.6 centimeters. So we're actually multiplied by 10 to the 2. So your formula would have been 18.386 times 10 to the second, which would have gave you the 1,838.6 centimeters. 5. Jules reads that 1 pint is equivalent to 473 thousandths liters. He asks the teacher how many liters there are in a pint. His teacher responds there are about 0.47 liters in a pint. He asks his parents, and they say there are about 0.5 liters in a pint. Jules says they're both correct. How can that be true? Okay. So, 1, Jules read that it was 473 thousandths liters. Now, his teacher responds that there are about 47 hundredths of a liter. So let's see what teacher could have done. Here is our place value chart. And let's say he rounded to the nearest hundredth. So we have 473 thousandths of a liter. So if we're talking about to the hundredth position, that means that would be 0.47. Next highest one would have been 0.48. And the center would have been 0.475. Now the actual was 0.3, so the teacher rounded to the hundredths. So teacher rounded to the hundredths. Now let's look. His parents said there's about 0.5 liters. Well, let's see what the parents did. There's our number line. Now once again, but you see the parents, they're in tenths. So we can see this is 0.4. Next highest would have been 0.5. And the center would have been 0.45. If we look at the original, it was 0.473. So it was above half, so we had rounded to 5. So parents rounded to the tenths.